Hey, this is your sports podcast, season 1, episode 7. Let's get into it. And welcome to your daily sports podcast. I haven't really did one lately on YouTube, but thank you guys for watching me. I'm going to do a couple call-ins today because I got a couple people texting me. They wanted to do a call-in for my podcast. And just so you know, I am on iTunes, so if you guys want to check that out, just go to iTunes. I may give my website. Oh my gosh. Well, I will be giving my website link in the chat today. Clark MLB and NFL Stats. Hi, Henry. But thank you guys for joining this podcast. Today's podcast, we'll be talking about sports today. So first segment is called Talk Baseball. Let's get into it. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this daily sports podcast. So our segment today is talking about Talk Baseball here. So this is our first segment called Talk Baseball. Thursday's baseball, Indians acquire Santana in 3-team trade here, and I really love Carlos Santana. He plays for the Indians. I'm pretty sure this guy plays third base, and he plays the corners. Thank you guys for watching my podcast. Hope you guys have an amazing time on this podcast. I also am on iTunes, so if you guys just want to check that out, go to On Deck Ty, search that up on your Apple Podcast app on every single phone, and I'll be up there. And thank you guys for joining. You'll see the symbol that you have on the screen here. I am doing a couple call-ins today, so just stay tuned for that. But Las Vegas, Seattle Mariners general manager Jerry DePito was in hospital making a trade from a bed. Cleveland counterpart Chris Antonio was boarding a plane heading back home. But that's kind of weird. Seattle Mariners general manager Jerry DePito was in a hospital. That's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool also, like that the technology today. It's kind of cool how that works today. Chris Antonin was boarding a plane headed back home, trying to finalize the deal before the flight pulled away from the gate. They managed to complete and swap as the winter meetings came to an end. Carlos Santana was sent back to Cleveland, where he was an Indians fan favorite. Edwin Encarnacion is headed to Seattle. That is like, I hate why they said I hate that Edwin Encarnacion is going to Seattle Mariners. I love that guy. Just so you know, my favorite team is Cleveland Indians in baseball. Now, if you guys are NFL right here, I know my favorite team is Panthers, but my favorite team right now is Panthers for NFL, but my favorite team right now is in the MLB is Cleveland here. Thank you guys for joining us. Santana was sent back to Cleveland, where he was an Indians fan favorite. Edwin Encarnacion is headed to Seattle. No telling how long he'll stick there. Hopefully he sticks there for at least just a couple weeks. Hopefully he'll just stick there for a year and go back to Cleveland, because Cleveland is just letting out people, guys. Henry, you asked how do you join in. You just call me Henry, so if you want to call me, just text me text me in the group chat if you want to join. Okay, but if you guys want to do call-ins, just say if you want to, and I'll get to know you, and I'll do some call-ins with my fans here. But they managed to complete the swap as the winter meetings came to the end. Carlos Santana was sent back to Cleveland. I already read that. The star hitters were dealt for each other. Thursday, part of a 3-team trade, also involved Tampa Bay. And just so you know, Tampa Bay's new field shut down the plans. It was a really sick field here. But speaking of Cleveland Indians here, Jose Ramirez, as you can see, this is his backyard. He just finished. I follow him on Instagram and Twitter, and he just finished remodeling his backyard, I think, and now he has a baseball field in his backyard. That is like so cool. And he also said hashtag no breaks, and that is really cool post there, because this would be my literally dream home. Like, there's a basketball court also, as you can see there, and then there's a pool. Oh my gosh, dream home right there. I don't even need a home to join that. Like, that's crazy. But that's kind of cool to think about. But let's just go back to Cleveland Indians. The Rays got an infielder, Yandy Diaz, and minor league right-hander Cole Sulser. From Cleveland. The Indians also acquired first baseman Jake Bauers from Cleveland. And I'm going to take a quick intermission break. And we are back to you guys for just joining us for today's podcast. But that is kind of cool about talking about Cleveland Indians. Now, Cleveland Indians, I love Cleveland Indians. Now, that is my favorite MLB team of all time. I already said this in my podcast. But if you guys know me, I do love Cleveland Indians, and also for NFL, I love Panthers. I already said this, guys, but there's a bunch of people that just joined, and I just wanted to tell them that. But 2019 Fantasy Baseball Draft Prep Dynasty League Top 100 Rankings. Safe to say is, when you think of a Dynasty League, you think of prospects. That's pretty much why they exist, right? I like to think some prospects hound somewhere realize I was a quick way to gain an advantage over his less studied opponents, and Viola, the Dynasty League, was born. Safe to say his advantage was narrowed in recent years. Prospect evaluation is now standard practice among fantasy analysts. Why I've spent the better part of the offseason breaking down the best at each position for Sportsline.com. Check the rated links box to the right of more. So here is top 100 players for Dynasty Leagues based on 3 factors. Immediate value, what a player is expected to be in 2019, long-term value, and confidence rating. So you gotta really have a lot of confidence to play the sport baseball here. But Mike Trout is number 1. Mookie Betts is number 2. Jose Ramirez is number 3. Just so you know, I love Jose Ramirez. And then you got Francisco Lindor coming in at the number 4 spot. 5, Nolan Arenado. 6, Alex Bregman. 7, Bryce Harper. Now, I thought he would be a little bit more at the top here, but not really. Manny Machado at number 8, and last year I think he actually stepped on somebody's ankle. I can't remember who it is, so comment down below who that was. Trey Turner was shortstop, 9th. Jose Altuve, number 10th. Wow, I thought he would be a little bit more at the top here. But make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel for more daily sports podcasts like this. Also, subscribe to my Twitter here. I do daily sports updates. And I also do podcast updates for my channel. And follow me on Instagram. I also do sports updates and podcast updates. So make sure you check out those channels there, just so you know. But let's just get into it. Number 11, Chris Sale. 12, Ronald Acuna. 13, Aaron Judge. Christian Yelich, number 15. Blake Snell, 16. Aaron Nola, 17. Vladimir Guerrero, 18th. 19th, Carlos Correa. 20, Jacob deGrom. And we're just doing up to 20 there because I don't want to read all of the 100 ones. You can go ahead and go to CBSSports.com if you guys want to see that here. But as you guys know, plans for Tampa Bay Rays field shut down, but the owners of the Tampa Bay Rays have said goodbye to their most popular players, changed the team's name, colors, and spring training home. Toss aside century-old baseball strategies while winning more games than teams with payrolls twice their size. Now, that is crazy to think about. Like, they redid everything, even their field. Like, they, shut down the... That's, really cool. They are logical, innovative, and arguably brilliant. Oh my gosh, I can't say that word, guys. Sorry about the wait. and about as sentimental as the IRS. That's not a criticism, by the way. It's an observation, a scouting report, if you will, and it's critically to understanding the current pursuit of a new baseball stadium in Tampa Bay. Here, related, start saying your goodbyes, Tampa Bay. Did a Tampa Bay lawyer's relationship with an investor hinder says stadium deal in Yabor? The Rays made clear when they waited until baseball's winter meetings in Las Vegas here. So I'm going to take a break, and we may have a caller coming back. Hey, we have a special guest call in from North Carolina. Do you want to say something, Chris?
Hi guys, how you doing?
So yeah, thank you for joining us here, Chris. So do you want to start us off with this talk?
Sure. I just want to talk about how the Yankees are going back and forth of wanting Harper and not wanting Harper. What do you think they're really going to do?
Yeah, that's a good question. I heard that even Cardinals are trying to get Harper here, but I feel like they're gonna maybe get Harper. I feel like they might get Harper because I don't know.
I mean, I think they could, but if you look at their outfield already,
it's pretty good.
I mean, you have Judge, Stanton, Gardner, but thing is, I heard that Didi Gregorius is now hurt, and they were thinking about maybe going for Machado or something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. Like, now that you said that, I feel like they wouldn't get him, Bryce Harper.
So, another thing is, did you see where the Raptors beat the Golden State Warriors by 20, but without Kawhi Leonard?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, they beat them, like, badly. Even, and Golden State still had, like, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, everybody back. Unlike the first game they played where Steph and Draymond were out, but Kawhi
Yeah, that's kind of cool to think about. Like, yeah.
But apparently as well, Harding got a triple-double yesterday with 50 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. So,
Yeah, but bring it over back to baseball. Thursday's baseball. Indians acquire Santana in 3-team trades. What do you think about Indians acquiring Santana in a 3-team trade?
I think that could possibly be good because I believe he's already been on that team, right?
Yeah. He's wait.
They're bringing him back. I feel like Edwin didn't do much for them, so they want to bring him back. So I would like to see where they go, whether they drop or go up with that.
Yeah, and Edwin Encarnacion is going to Seattle Mariners.
Yep. So, did you see where Cano was going to the Mets now?
Yep, I did see that.
What are your thoughts on that?
Wait, I just got a brain fart. I don't know why, but what were we talking about again?
Cano moving to the Mets.
Oh yeah. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Not that much. But thank you guys for joining us. We just had a couple more people join us, so, is that it for you?
I guess. I mean, besides, I still can't believe Michael Jordan smacked Malik Monk on the head after last night. But, so.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much it for me.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you, Chris, for joining us, and if you guys want to do a call-in, if anybody that I know is on the live stream, just go ahead and text me, and you can do a call-in, but thank you, Chris, for joining us, so, see ya.
No problem. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. Alright, we have another call in here. His name is Cohen. You want to say hi, Cohen?
Hi.
We're going to be talking about sports also with him, and I just had Chris on the phone. So, how do you feel about that trade? They traded Edwin Encarnacion.
I saw that. Didn't it in 3 teams, I believe? I think it was Seattle, Cleveland, and Tampa.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a three trade. It was a three trade there. That's kind of cool to think about. Do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, so Edwin, he went to Seattle. Carlos Santana went to Cleveland. And Jake Bauer or something like that got traded to Cleveland. So those are some. Oh, and Vandy Diaz got traded to Tampa. So those are some pretty big names there that was involved.
Yeah. And have you heard about this new website? It's called poopsenders.com. And it's basically a little like gag gift thing. It's like,
no, I haven't heard about it.
It's over for the holidays, and like basically you can buy it and you can give somebody's address and it sends somebody poop of some sort. It's really weird, and I've heard a lot of people sent that to the Redskins office. So if you guys are interested with that, it's called poopsenders.com.
Joe Kelly from the Boston Red Sox was on the move to LA, Los Angeles.
Yeah, and did you see about